Hello, everyone. I hope you're having an amazing day. Before we dive in, please make sure to subscribe and smash that like button. We're so close to reaching our 1,000 subscriber goal. Don't miss out on any updates. Without further ado, let's jump into today's story. Guest's girlfriend gets jealous of me and complains, but the guest tells her off right there in front of me. I've been working at a hotel for a couple of years now. It's nothing fancy, just your average place with clean sheets, a basic breakfast bar, and a vending machine that's perpetually broken. Most of our guests are people passing through or workers on contract, like construction crews or utility teams. They're easy to deal with since they mostly keep to themselves, and over time, you get to know the regulars. One crew in particular has been staying with us on and off for months. Same guys, same routine. They check in Monday night, leave Thursday morning, and repeat the process the next week. I've gotten to know most of their names, their job sites, and even who prefers decaf coffee. They're no trouble, so I don't mind. One guy in the crew, who's a bit older than me, stands out. He always comes to the desk for quarters to do his laundry seriously. It's like clockwork. He's polite, cracks just enough jokes to keep things friendly, and never crosses the line. He's easy to talk to, so I never thought twice about our interactions. Until one night. It was a typical Wednesday evening. I was at the desk, restocking pens, when he approached with his laundry bag slung over his shoulder and some cash in hand. I didn't even wait for him to ask. "You need quarters, right?" I said, already reaching for the coin roll. "Yeah," he replied, dropping his bag with a thud. "And detergent, if you've got it." I handed him a small box of travel-sized detergent, joking, "Anything else? Free delivery service, maybe?" He smirked. "Fresh out, huh? Figures." As I handed him the quarters, he paused, then suddenly asked, "How old are you anyway?" The question caught me off guard. Guests rarely ask personal questions like that. I hesitated before answering, "I'm insert your age." "Why?" He nodded like that settled something, stuffed the detergent into his bag, and muttered, "She's your age. I don't know why you're so worried." That's when I noticed the earpiece. He was on the phone. His girlfriend must have been grilling him, though I couldn't hear her side of the conversation. As he stepped into the elevator, he added, "What do you expect me to do? Walk up to the desk and say, 'Give me my quarters.' I lose it." I couldn't help but laugh. It was so absurd. But that was just the beginning. The next night, I was back at the desk when he walked in with his girlfriend. I could tell immediately she was furious. Her arms were crossed tightly, and she marched ahead of him like she was ready for a fight. Before I could say a word, she slammed her hands on the counter and demanded, "Are you the girl who's been talking to my boyfriend?" I blinked, glancing at him for help. He stood a few feet back, shaking his head. "Ma'am," I said cautiously, "I talk to every guest who comes to the desk. It's part of my job." She glared at me, then turned to him. See how she talks to me?" He groaned, rubbing his face. "She's not talking to you any kind of way. She's doing her job, just like I've been telling you." "Oh, so now you're defending her?" she snapped. I knew it. I knew something was going on. I held up my hands. "Okay, let's get one thing straight. Nothing is going on here." He comes to the desk for quarters and detergent. That's it. But she wasn't having it. "You think I'm stupid?" By now, guests in the lounge were starting to watch. One guy even walked out, probably trying to avoid the drama. The boyfriend finally lost his patience. "Nobody thinks you're stupid, but you're acting ridiculous. Yelling in a hotel lobby about quarters and detergent." She slammed the counter again, rattling the pens. "If you don't want me to make a scene, maybe don't give me a reason." He fired back. "What reason? That I had a conversation? This is insane." At that point, I couldn't stay quiet. "Listen," I said firmly. "I don't care about your boyfriend or your relationship. I'm just doing my job." She looked like she was about to explode when he grabbed her arm. "That's enough. Let's go." She yanked away. "Don't touch me." "Fine," he said, grabbing her bag and heading to the elevator. "Come with me or don't. I'm done." She hesitated, then stormed after him, heels clicking loudly across the tile. The next morning, he came back to the desk, looking exhausted. "I need a new key," he muttered. As I handed it over, he said, "I'm sorry about last night." She was out of line. I shrugged. "It's fine. I've seen worse." He sighed. "She's been like this for a while, jealous of every woman I talk to. It doesn't matter what I say." I gave a polite nod, but didn't engage. It wasn't my problem. Later, she approached me in the lounge to apologize, but the conversation felt insincere. She admitted to feeling insecure about their relationship, but her tone suggested she wasn't ready to change. By the end of my shift, I spotted them arguing in the parking lot. It was clear their problems ran deeper than anything that happened at my desk. Like he's done listening, I get in my car and drive off. I don't stick around to see how it ends, none of my business anyway. But something tells me this isn't over. The next evening, I'm back at work. It's been a steady day, nothing too chaotic, and by 8:30, I'm finally finding my rhythm. That's when he walks into the lobby. Alone this time, no girlfriend trailing behind. Improvement already. He heads straight for the desk, and I brace for a request. More quarters, another key, the usual. Instead, he leans on the counter. "Can we talk?" I glance around. The lobby's quiet. just one guy half watching the news on TV. I sigh and step closer. Sure, what's up? About last night, he begins, rubbing the back of his neck. I just wanted to apologize. She shouldn't have acted that way. I shrug. It's fine. I've dealt with worse. No, it's not fine, he insists. She crossed the line, and I should have stopped it sooner. I didn't mean for you to get dragged into our mess. It happened, I reply. Just make sure it doesn't happen again. He nods, but hesitates. She's not usually like this. I mean, she gets jealous, but not like that. I think maybe I've been distant, and she's overcompensating. I raise an eyebrow. That's not my business. I know, he says quickly. I just wanted you to know none of this was your fault. Thanks, I reply, filing some receipts. Just keep it away from the desk next time. I don't get paid enough to referee relationship drama. That gets a short laugh out of him before he finally walks away. A couple of hours later, she appears. She looks frazzled, but doesn't storm straight to the desk. Instead, she hovers by the vending machines. Eventually, she walks over. Hey, she says, avoiding eye contact. Hi, I reply cautiously. I just wanted to say sorry for last night. Okay, I say neutrally. I know I came off a little intense, she adds, crossing her arms. A little, I remark before catching myself. She laughs bitterly and shakes her head. Fair. I deserve that. There's an awkward pause before she continues. I'm not proud of how I acted. I've been feeling insecure, and I guess I took it out on you. That wasn't fair. You're right. It wasn't, I reply bluntly. She winces, but I don't soften my stance. Look, I say, relationships are hard, but you can't take your issues out on random people. I'm not involved, and I don't want to be. I know, she says quietly. I'm sorry. Okay, I reply, leaving it at that. About an hour later, he comes down. Did she talk to you? He asks. Yeah. She apologized. Good, he says, relieved. I wasn't sure she'd actually do it. She's stubborn as hell. Just keep it away from the desk, I remind him. Will do, he replies with a small nod before heading upstairs. The next morning, she's back duffel bag in hand and scanning the lobby like she's on a mission. She marches to the desk. Can I leave this here? No, I say. We don't store personal belongings. She exhales sharply. Fine. As she storms toward the elevator, she stops and whirls around. Is he down here? No, I reply flatly. She glares, but eventually disappears upstairs. Later, he comes down, looking ready to leave. She's been storming around all morning, he says, shaking his head. So what's the plan? I told her I'm done. She didn't take it well. Now she's acting like she's the one leaving me. Fine by me, as long as she goes. Good luck with that, I say, returning to my paperwork. Just as he heads for the door, she comes back down. You're really just going to leave? She yells, making everyone in the lobby freeze. Yeah, I am, he replies. Because of her? She screams, pointing at me. I raise my hands. Don't drag me into this. I've got nothing to do with your problems. He steps between us. It's not about her. It's about you and your jealousy. I can't deal with it anymore. She glares. You'll regret this. I doubt it, he mutters. She storms out, slamming the door behind her. Hours later, he returned to the front desk, holding the room key in his hand. Thanks for putting up with all that, he said, his voice weary but sincere. I gave him a small smile. It's just part of the job. He nodded, his tired eyes meeting mine. Hopefully, this is the end of it. Take care, I said as he walked out the door. And just like that, they were finally out of my life. At least, I hoped so. As the night went on, I couldn't help but reflect on what had just happened. The drama, the tension, it had all been a lot to handle. I wasn't the type to engage in conflict, but there was something about this situation that made me want to scream. Still, I kept my cool. It wasn't worth the energy. The next morning, I checked the comments online. One person wrote, "You handled that better than I would have." I'd have told her off immediately. I chuckled at that. Trust me, I wanted to. I responded. But she wasn't worth the energy. Then another comment popped up. Why didn't he dump her sooner? She sounds unbearable. I thought about it for a moment before replying. Good question. I guess some people like the drama, but the last comment really caught my attention. This sounds fake. No way people act like this. I couldn't help but laugh. Oh, they do. Work in customer service for a week, and you'll see. And with that, the chapter was closed. The drama was over. For now. I couldn't help but feel a sense of relief, but I knew better than to assume it was truly the end.